Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, we're talking Medicaid potential cutbacks with Sharon Chamberlain, CEO of Northern Nevada Hopes, here for the whole show on all new Nevada Newsmakers.
When in Carson City, Nevada Newsmakers records in the conference room of the Nevada Builders Alliance. Coverage of the 2025 legislative session is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. NV Energy, proudly serving Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Retail Association of Nevada, looking out for business. And by Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity and every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from Carson City, from the home of the Nevada Builders Alliance. We're delighted to welcome to the program Sharon Chamberlain. She is the CEO of Northern Nevada Hopes. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Let's start out with, especially for our friends in Southern Nevada, what is Northern Nevada Hopes?
Of course, Northern Nevada Hopes is a federally qualified health center, so a nonprofit health center that serves individuals regardless of their ability to pay. So we provide everything from primary care to behavioral health to pharmacy to case management, transportation, on, to ensure that people are able to access health care and hopefully stay out of our hospitals and emergency rooms.
Okay, how many people do you serve each year?
We have about 17,000 patients and over 100,000 visits a year.
Who funds this?
So the funding is complex. It comes from multiple places, including the federal government and state grants, as well as foundations and fundraising. In addition to that, we take all insurances. So we take Medicaid, Medicare, private insurance, et cetera. All of those pieces come together to help us be able to support the individuals that for some reason have no access to any kind of coverage whatsoever.
All right, so you have to be concerned about Medicaid at this point.
Yes, we are.
Share your thoughts and what the cost might be.
Well, it's concerning because there's a lot of discussion around cutting Medicaid. And we know that over 68% of Nevadans do not want Medicaid to be cut because we understand what that impact is going to be.
For example?
For us, 34% of our population that we serve are Medicaid recipients. If we lose that or lose a large portion of those individuals having coverage, then those people will move to our sliding fee scale. So as a community health center, we need to provide services regardless of somebody's ability to pay. If they move to a sliding fee scale, we're not going to have the income to be able to continue to support the wide breadth of programs that we actually have.
Okay, what kind of dollar amount are you because I'm presuming that you have played out doomsday scenarios with the funding at this point. So how much money are we talking about?
It will be millions of dollars. We're about a $55 million organization, and about a third of that would be impacted. As a federally qualified health centers, Medicaid in particular is one of the biggest pieces that allow us to operate and provide the services that we do, because we get a wrap rate for Medicaid.
What does that mean?
So that means that we have a set rate with the state as a federally qualified health center, and so the MCOs will pay us a certain amount.
I'm sorry, MCOs.
Managed care organization like Silver Summit Health Plan or Anthem or something like that. So they will provide us a payment for the services, and then the state makes us whole with our rate. So Medicaid for federally qualified health centers is actually one of the best payers in the market. And that's very different for other individuals in the community that serve Medicaid populations. Often they can't keep their doors open, which is why so many people don't serve the Medicaid population, and instead they're being served at federally qualified health centers.
Okay, so you would have a larger proportion of people being able to come in because the Medicaid reimbursement is higher. Because that's the complaint I hear a lot, is the Medicaid reimbursements are just not enough, and so doctors will take Medicare, but not Medicaid.
That's exactly it. And federally, when federally qualified health centers were set up in the 1960s, they specifically ensured that the Medicaid population, which is a very underserved population, would be able to have access to health care through federally qualified health centers.
One of the things that comes up when people are talking about, cuts for everything, obviously, is that there was a huge expansion of Medicaid over the last few years. What is your response to that, and do you think it's appropriate?
I think that has actually saved the community a significant amount of dollars. So taking away somebody's health insurance, or if somebody doesn't have health insurance, does not make their medical needs disappear, right? So people still have diabetes and hypertension, but what happens if people don't have access to care is that they end up very ill and in the hospitals, in the emergency rooms, and then maybe eventually in the actual hospital or a skilled nursing facility, et cetera, to take care of the leg that got amputated because they didn't have access to the insulin that they needed to keep their diabetes under control.
All right, but playing devil's advocate here, if we're looking at what was expanded, is there not the potential to retract that, or at least a portion of it, to save revenue?
Well, they've seen places like Georgia where they have retracted the expansion population, that it actually ended up costing them more money. And so we're learning from that. And I feel very strongly that putting on restrictions or pulling back the Medicaid expansion, or putting on work restrictions, for example. Work restrictions, 92% of the individuals that are on Medicaid actually work. So these are individuals that are working poor in the community that rely on Medicaid for their health care.
At this point, are you talking to the congressional delegation to see what their input is as far as the potential for this to happen? Because there's been a lot of talk about cutbacks, but so far, none.
We have been in contact with everyone, state and federal, to ensure that our voices are being heard. If Medicaid gets cut, federally qualified health centers throughout the country, which is the largest provider for the Medicaid population, 1 in 4 adults are served through a federally qualified health center. We will have to cut services and shrink our programming. That would be a significant impact just across the country to individuals' health and the community's health.
Okay, what kind of programs would you have to cut to make up for this?
So we would have to look at some of our services that are non-billable. For example, transportation case management services. And we recognize that those services are what works for the population that we serve. So we don't just treat somebody for their diabetes when they come in. We look at it very holistically. And so we say, do you have a refrigerator to keep your medication in, right? Because what we found is that a lot of people don't have access to a refrigerator, so they can't keep their medication. So how do we work with that individual to ensure that's all through case management? It's all through providers being able to spend the time. It's through our RNs. We have to make significant cuts of a third or more of our budget. Those services will go away.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with much more after this time out.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Sharon Chamberlain. She is the CEO of Northern Nevada Hopes. At the same time you're dealing with the potential for Medicaid cuts, you're also in an expansion process. What areas are you expanding to?
Well, yes, right now we are expanding pretty significantly. We are opening up a center for addiction medicine with a fellow that is trained in addiction medicine. She's got her certification and all of that. And so that's going to help our community significantly, and again, increasing access for the individuals that are struggling with addiction. In addition to that, we're opening up a maternity care program, so we will be providing services for moms that are pregnant and including their post giving birth piece. And so those are exciting. We're expanding our psychiatry program. We're adding a psychologist. All of these pieces are things that for the populations that we serve, those 17,000 individuals, it's very difficult to get access to in other parts of the community.
Mental health has been an issue ever since I've been in the state of Nevada, which goes back to 1978. First started hearing about this in 1980, so it's 45 years that mental health has been an issue in Nevada. Do you see a resolution? I mean, especially with the population that you serve, it would seem that mental health issues are a large part of what you're dealing with, even if there are other issues that brought the people in, that you then have to look at the mental health side.
Yeah, mental health is absolutely key in keeping people healthy physically also, right? And I feel like we are the worst in the country around mental health for example, for youth, access to mental health. We need to do better. And part of what needs to happen, I believe, is a shift in the types of providers that have coverage under Medicaid for reimbursement, so that we can expand the number of providers in our state. Part of the problem is that we have this huge provider shortage, and you can't hire enough people to meet the need, and we've got to be able to somehow expand the types of providers and move to CPCs and additional funding for peer support specialists and life coaches, whatever those people are, to be able to assist us in this huge provider shortage.
Okay, so where are you going to find these people? Because every state in the union is suffering from the same problem. Nevada has had an incredible difficulty attracting these doctors and support staff. So how do you pull off this miracle if you are able to? Which would be amazing if you could.
Yes, we've been pretty fortunate at Northern Nevada Hopes in our recruitment of providers, and we try to look outside of just the region, because if we're just taking, for example, if we take a provider from Renown and move them to Hopes, we're not increasing access, right? We have to bring in people from outside of the community. It is extremely challenging. And again, Medicaid cuts are going to impact that, because we won't be able to pay and match the pay that somebody can get in private practice, for example.
Not an easy thing to deal with. One of the things that you have is a needle program exchange. I'm told that the numbers are staggering. Share with us, if you will, what you're dealing with.
So we have a syringe services program, and what that means is a program that works with people who inject drugs to provide them safe equipment, clean equipment, and new needles. And people think, oh my goodness, what are you doing? You're pushing people to continue to use drugs. And that's just not true. So virtually every scientific body that has ever studied it, from the American Medical Association to and even places, police unions, et cetera, the mayor's union, not union, but
the conference,
they support syringe services programs, because they reduce the spread of HIV and hepatitis C amongst injection drug users and their family and friends. In addition to that, though, they provide a linkage to services. So when somebody is ready to stop using, they have that relationship already where they can get moved into a rehab or whatever it is that that's appropriate for that individual. So it's remarkable, honestly. Our biggest year of exchanging needles, we exchanged, I always ask people to guess, but I won't ask you to guess.
Thank you.
We exchanged over 1 million needles.
Wow.
And safely disposed of 1 million needles. That's in Reno, right? So that's remarkable. People think that there's not a injection drug use problem, or that it's not as prevalent as it is, but it is. So that program provides clean equipment and a linkage to services for individuals that are actively using and individuals that are ready to stop.
All right, so do you have a connection with the Reno Police Department, with Washoe County Sheriff's Office, and how do they interact with you?
Yeah, we sure do. So we were the first exchange in the state of Nevada. So initially there was a lot of concern. It always is. People hear this and they're like, oh my goodness. But what happens is that even with the police department, for example, because people have access to clean needles, right, and they have access to safe disposal of needles, first responders are less likely, and this has been shown across the country, less likely in places that have syringe service programs to get stuck by a used needle, because they have a safe way to dispose of used needles. So we have a great relationship with Reno Police Department. We have a great relationship with Washoe County Sheriff's Department and the jail. We have a medication-assisted treatment program that works with individuals that are opiate users. And they actually start the medication while they're in jail, and then they are referred to us so that they can continue those services.
Is the opiate problem getting worse?
They've said that they've seen some of the first decreases in overdoses and things, and so that makes you think maybe there's a little bit of a change or shift in opiate use. However, I believe that opiate use is still extremely prevalent. The thing that has shifted or changed is that there is now access to fentanyl testing strips. There's access to Narcan, which is an overdose reversal. And that's what we're seeing impact, I believe, some of the opiate usage.
All right, let's take another break and we'll be right back.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Your good times are at Tamarack Casino during the $150,000 Denim and Diamonds giveaways with cash and free play drawings every Thursday and Saturday, and $30,000 in grand finale giveaways Saturday, May 31st, including a top prize of $20,000 guaranteed. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Sharon Chamberlain. She is the CEO of Northern Nevada Hopes. Buying housing for residential treatment, are you still pursuing that? It's got to be very expensive.
It is so expensive. So we have a program called Hope Springs, which is a tiny home program that we opened up for individuals that are chronically homeless. And that program has 30 units on less than an acre spot, but it's a beautiful facility. And why we did that was because housing is absolutely part of healthcare. And if you have housing, your healthcare, your health outcomes improve. And so we want to continue to look. But the reason we did Hope Springs was because we wanted to set up a model that could be replicated across the country for people that are building housing and are, because it doesn't have to cost $70,000 a door or $150,000. It just doesn't. Our tiny home project was about $6,000 per home.
And how big are the homes?
The homes are pretty small. I mean, they are small by all means. We have a community center that hosts all the other pieces, like showers and the bathrooms and a huge kitchen and community space and that kind of thing.
So these are more like 300 square feet, 350.
Yes.
So a decent sized hotel room.
Yes, exactly. And what's neat about it is that a lot of folks need that piece of community when they're coming in from chronic homelessness because they've been outside for so long. And to encourage people to come out of their units, their homes, and come into the community space to gather, to eat, and build relationships is instrumental in helping people move from homelessness.
Are you optimistic?
I am optimistic.
As you deal with all this?
I am absolutely optimistic. I believe in our country, I believe in our people, and I believe that the majority of individuals want what's best for individuals in our country. And although our views might differ, extremely on certain pieces, one thing that almost everybody agrees on, and I don't mean to sound crass, is that money is important, and cutting Medicaid is not going to save Nevada any money.
I know it's the difficulty, of course, to come to you from a different point is that we have a $36 trillion debt, and there's a reason why we're paying 50% more for our groceries than we were before. So something has to be done. We'll see how it comes out the other side. But I appreciate the work you're doing. It sounds like a fantastic project that continues to benefit the community. So thank you for your work.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Carson Valley Inn, it's your place for the good times. Carson Valley Inn.
When in Carson City, Nevada Newsmakers records in the conference room of the Nevada Builders Alliance. Coverage of the 2025 legislative session is brought to you by Pro Group Management, Workers' Comp that works for you. NV Energy, proudly serving Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Retail Association of Nevada, looking out for business. And by Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers come to you from Carson City, from the headquarters of the Nevada Builders Alliance. We'll see you on the next broadcast. Thanks for watching.